Okay, and we're back. We're now in Manga Studio, so a little bit of a format change. I'm gonna give this a go. I am rendering in the background, which usually is big trouble. I was forced to work at 600 DPI because the image is just too large for the 300 DPI format in Manga Studio, which, if that was something they got rid of in the new versions of Manga Studio, I would be mucho apreciadoed. So, because I'm not going to be coloring this, I'm going to be going really rough. Though, slight more correction is needed. Also, why? What? No, 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 no. That's huge. Okay, that's better. So yeah, I'm going to try to keep this loosey-goosey. Okay, maybe not that loosey-goosey. The pants are going to be black, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have like kind of a few marks to indicate like wrinkles at like where the crotch would be. So this is all going to be black. Just an FYI. For those following along with the home edition. Oh, recently I had a question about whether or not I was left-handed or right-handed. I am right-handed, but I know like why people ask. It's because like when I work digitally, I tend to pull my lines, I think, as opposed to like guiding them. So like instead of being like, woo, I tend to... It's hard to explain the difference, but maybe like pushing them a little more than I think a right-handed person would do. That mostly has to do with, I wouldn't say like my intuitive confidence in drawing on the computer, but definitely my inking. I think it's more apparent because I'm trying to do like really precise lines, and sometimes I can't get the angles I want with such a small tablet that I sometimes have to do screwy things. Wow. I don't know why, but my settings are just absolutely enormous. This is one of my all-time favorite shirts. This striped shirt. I got it at Wet Seal last year at Halloween, and I have probably worn it every week since I got it. That's how in love I am with this damn shirt. And they haven't, like, by the time I realized that I was like so in love with this shirt, Wet Seal took it off their shelves. Because I was planning to buy like 8 more. Basically one for every day of the week. And it's still listed as like a stock item, like an item that they could have, but it's always listed as out of stock, and to check your local retailer, and checking the local retailer has turned up nothing, so I'm hoping it will be back in stock this Halloween, or this October at least. And I have never wanted an article of clothing so much. And it's funny because I've had to like learn all these different things about like how clothing is stocked, and like when it's stocked and why it's stocked, and things like I never gave a shit about before. So that has been a new experience. But fingers crossed that this year will be the year. They also made it's either red and black or red and like very dark green, I think for like Freddy Krueger for Halloween. I'd also like to get that one too. I'm not much of like a color person, like I don't wear a lot of colors, like out and about. I have a few like t-shirts and this and that I wear around the house. But generally I like to go black and white. That started, like, I try to dress the same when I go to events where I think I might be recognized, like conventions and stuff. And most of that has to do with self-branding, which if you plan to become sort of like, quote-unquote, a personality at conventions or in like the art or geek community, or, whatever community you're in, it's always good to kind of brand yourself because people will always recognize you. I bumped into a guy who reviews comic books for a living. He's an older gentleman, and he always wears like the same t-shirt and jeans with the same logo, and he always has like the same sort of satchel with him and stuff. It's not like the exact same one. He has like multiples of the same thing. Don't get gross, you guys. Well, anyway, and he's been wearing like basically the same things at con for like 15 years or something, or 20 years, I can't remember. It was like a million years though. But he said, and it always helps him be recognized. And he had heard me speak on a panel about comics some years ago, and he recommended to Dave to tell me to do the same thing so that I would be more branded. And I thought it was a good idea. So I've started wearing suits and ties ever since, with like the same damn fedora and everything. It's like I play the character of Emmy when I'm at conventions. I guess like a more contemporary version would be like the nostalgia critic, who always wears like the same sort of, I don't know what you call that hat, and like the red tie and stuff. So that's like another similar vein of self-branding. This is my mama. I'll give her eyelashes. Maybe. Oh boy, I'm gonna be starting going to cons again soon. I am nervous. I'm always worried that people have gotten like way more brutal since the days when I used to do cons. But probably not. I don't know. I think it's just a lot more like young people. Well, people that were my age. Or I was their age, I should say. It's weird because like everybody I know who's younger start going to cons like much earlier than most people. Like anime cons weren't that big when I was growing up. They didn't only start to get big like in the last 10 years or so as more of like a less niche sort of hobby and event, you know. So my first con I think I went to when I was 12 or 13, and I went with my dad. He took me to an anime con in Canada, which was the closest convention to us. We lived in Pennsylvania. So this is back before there was like a con everywhere. It's actually kind of nice because I feel like if I really wanted to live off of conventions, there's like one for every weekend these days. Back then, they were pretty few and far between. I'll give her eyelashes too. It's my drawing, I can do what I want. Wow, it feels. Oh, that would be why. I was gonna say, wow, it feels so snappy, like everything's like overcorrecting itself. And that would be why. I had the correction up really high. Yeah, Shiloh used to have a tag that was a rocket ship, but it was so heavy on her collar, and it would like clang and bang around a lot, so I ended up taking it off and got her a more lightweight charm with her name on it. Um, she's got her paw over her nose for some reason. I was looking at her just to see if I was drawing her okay. She looks like she's wearing like a little Egyptian headdress thingy. Like a little crown, you know? How like the pharaohs had like cobras that came out of their the tops of their hats, like or not the tops, but like the band that ran around the skull. I'm trying to think what the name of that thing is. I used to be so into Egypt when I was younger. I even have an Egyptian Book of the Dead and the dictionary. I have an Egyptian dictionary. I used to have oh wait, no, that was in Klingon. I was gonna say I used to have I used to have Shakespeare in Egyptian, but no, that was in Klingon. I've always been really fascinated by languages and how language works, and sadly though, I do not pick up other languages very easily. I think Japanese is the closest I've ever gotten to like getting somewhere with the language. I still have trouble with sentence structure. I think German is the easiest for sentence structure for me and the hardest for um, vocabulary. But anyway, yeah, I was a big language nut, and I used to buy books in all kinds of different languages, and like with translations and stuff. And I used to have, I think, Hamlet in Klingon, but I sold it. She has these like little bumps that dogs have. I don't know what those are. I won't put them on. They look like big old pimples in this style. That sounds like a Shiloh. Phew, I'm getting tired. It is 1:16 in the morning here. Yay me. I think I need to pick up the pace a little bit. Super quiet, super focused Emmy, go. Oh. I hear the sprinklers turning on. I don't know why, but in my condo complex, they're obsessed with the sprinklers running all day and all night, and it is a huge, huge waste of water. And I'm pretty sure the reason they do it is because most of the plants that grow in my complex, like most of the decorative plants, are not really native to this kind of weather. Our complex is like supposed to be Hawaii themed for whatever fucking reason. And so all these Hawaiian plants grow here, but it's not really good for them. And so they have to use buckets and buckets of water to keep them looking fabulous. That is some lagging. Did I mention I'm also torrenting stuff? Yeah, that's probably gonna come back to bite me. Scott 50. Oh, when I was looking at pictures of Dave when he was a kid. Quiet. I have a little dog moaning at me. Ooh. Ooh, be quiet. I'm trying to sleep. I'm a puppy. Some people in this family are trying to feed you. Anyway, no, I can't say that. This isn't really commissioned work. Anyway, I was looking at pictures of Dave when I was looking for pictures of his mom. And he had that little mole way back then when he was a little babu. A little tiny babu, Dave. Oh yeah, thigh gap. Not really. Dave does have a pretty impressive thigh gap, if I do say so myself. But he is skinny, skinny, skinny. I don't know why I always draw him looking all verklempt. Yeah, not really verklempt. More like just angry. Hmm. I might have to stop this video for now. I'm starting to get some lag. You can always tell when Manga Studio is lagging for me because everything starts blobbing up really bad. And that happens, or I accidentally like open windows and stuff. Oh man, so here's like a random story about Dave real quick. Just when I first met him, I would have been, let me think. I think I would have been 17 or so when I met him, and he was what, like 21, I think. And when he first started college, or he was, I shouldn't say first started college then, but you know, he was like in the thick of college, the thick of schooling. He lost so much weight. His cheekbones were just like, I mean, we have some pictures of him from that time. He doesn't like to look at them, but he was so skinny. I think he was really stressed out. He was also working as an EMT at the time, and a volunteer firefighter. So I think he was like quite ravaged at that time. My poor Babu. Alright, let's try Heine. I'm gonna basically keep going with this until it won't let me go anymore. Like the lag just gets so bad. Right now it's tolerable. Maybe not. I'm hitting, I don't know if you can hear my keys, like I'll hit Control Z and then like it'll take a second or two for it to Control Z, like to actually do the, oh. I wonder if I should have drawn him with a little cat toy. I'm trying not to get too overly detailed with this picture because I'm worried that he'll have to explain everything in Japanese to the instructor, like what all this stuff is. So like if I drew the cat with a cat toy, she'd be like, oh, what's that in his mouth? And in Japanese, you'd have to say, that's a cat toy, and I don't know if he could do that. That's neko, I don't know what toy is. Neko toy desu. Perfect. Oh my god, Shiloh looks so goony. Ah, my poor goony puppy. Look at that, getting all meta. Oh, wow. This is definitely starting to get a little unbearable in the lag department, that's for sure. Let me just check on the rendering, and if this is the end of the video, that's the end of the video. I'm sorry, but I will try to come back if I can. Alright, bye-bye. Okay, we're back. I actually had to take quite a few hours of a break there to let that finish. My computer is basically unusable for art when it is rendering. And there's not a lot I can do about that. Which is also why I don't put up videos like constantly. Because I have to find times when I can remember to set the computer up to render. When I'm not going to be needing it. What I really need to do is make reminders for myself to set up videos to render before I go to bed, because obviously I'm not drawing in my sleep. It would be amazing if I could, though. Oh man, I'm hungry. I read a little comic about cannibalism. But it really made me hungry. Which is probably not like a good thing to say. Man, that's the one thing, like, and I always feel terrible about, is a lot of times when I watch documentaries about either overeating or undereating or any kind of like food related illness, I get hungry. I guess though, that's just how humans are programmed to work. When food is around, humans come a-callin'. Oh, one sec, itchy nose. Okay. Do, 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 do. I think Dave's dad has like much like paler hair than he does. I wouldn't call it a blonde, but I think it is lighter. I don't know, just something interesting. I think I'm actually going to get rid of that. That's supposed to be like hair at the back of his head, but it kind of looks like weird mutton chops or something. Oh my gosh, I hope you guys can't hear my belly grumbling. So speaking of parents and family members, I don't know if anybody watches it. It's an anime called Ucho. Oh my gosh, I'm totally blanking on what the name is. Well, the English name I know is Space Brothers. And it's super adorable. And I highly recommend it. And just a quick summary of what it is. It's about two brothers who, when they were younger, saw... Oh my gosh, that dog. I don't know if you can hear her grumbling. They saw a UFO together. And the younger of the two brothers swore that he would go to the moon. And then the older brother kind of like one-upped him and said, well, I'm going to go to Mars. Well, the younger brother ends up basically succeeding, spoilers, at his goal of becoming an astronaut. You know that basically from the first episode, that the younger brother like went on to basically achieve his goal, while the older brother, the one who said he was going to go to Mars, he has a good job, but I don't even call it his dream. Like, he wanted to go to space as well. And then with some coaxing from his younger brother, he joins JAXA, which is the Japanese aeronautical program, basically like Japan's NASA. And then it just goes into his training and like catching up with his brother in the United States, going through NASA and everything. It's just like a really nice, heartfelt anime. There is some like tension and drama in it, but it's not like life altering. It's like a very uplifting anime, and I like that. Hold on one sec. Are you okay, Shiloh? You need to go sleep? No, I'll take you out in a little bit. Go lay down, okay? It's not time for you to go out. No, it's not. You've got at least another hour. I think I have an upset puppy. She says, please, Mama, please, I want to go out. Hey. Oh, that was weird. It, like, canceled 2 lines at once. But anyway, I thought I'd mention it. I'm trying to get more people interested in it, because honestly, it seems like a really, like, niche slice of spacey life anime. Like, there's not a lot of fantasy or anything involved. I mean, save for, like, the UFO sighting, which even in itself was pretty, like, mundane, and it's it's not like a huge driving factor to the rest of the show. So yeah, it's pretty down to earth, and I like that. Okay, so I kind of messed up a little bit. I meant to kind of draw the one side. I swear I meant to, but I didn't. Okie dokie. Let's go back out to 50. Oops, you guys can see my, well, you guys can't see, but I can see it. I have I had my recording window open, like the framey thing. It was kind of distracting. Okay. So totally random, but today I laid down to take a nap, and I had this weird dream that I was attempting to rebuy the home I had as a, like the home I grew up in as a kid, except it was like totally different, like not the home I grew up in at all, and I have no idea. Like, I don't know, the dream just really stuck with me. It was very, very bizarre, and I keep thinking about it. Like, this older couple lived there, and they were just pining to get rid of this house. Which is something I do know, that there is an older couple living in the house I grew up in, but as far as I know, they're not pining to get rid of it. Oops. And let's do curl in this direction. All I'm thinking about right now is, what do we have to eat? I'm gonna go eat something. I'm hungry. I'd even eat a person. No cannibal comic. Cannibal comic. I said that weird. I might use Sally's design for one of my characters. I really like her design here. She has like curly wavy hair and I don't really know a better way to represent that. She's also the only person here showing her eyes. Ah, there we go. So let me do some half toning. Let's listen to my dog grumble. No, I don't want it to be pressure sensitive. How do I turn that off? I want to turn it off. Don't like it. One of these tools. Here we go, that's the one. Oh, that did nothing. I want to like... I want to do some half toning, but I'm not getting the kind of pressure sensitivity with it that I thought you got in Manga Studio. Yeah, I don't like that there's no pressure sensitivity with this, and I'm not sure like why it's not doing. I don't know. I will come back to Heine and Shiloh because they are both really dark. So I'm going to use... Sorry, I'm just messing around. They're both really dark, so I'm going to use a darker tone. Like, not that. Like that. There we go. Nope. I'm sorry if this is kind of boring. It's nice that Manga Studio has like toning tools. I never knew that till fairly recently. I think it was kind of an accident that I even figured it out. I clicked on the wrong tool and started to go to town on inking. I was like, oh wait, this isn't the tool I desire. Sorry that the commentary is kind of slowing down a little bit, but I'm on the home stretch. I just looked at Shiloh and she was like, what? I can't remember the markings on her face. I'm actually, since I don't want to bother her while she's sleeping, I'm going to pull up a photo. Let me take these over here just in case. Though I can't imagine there's anything in here I wouldn't want you to see. This is what my puppy looks like. Isn't she pretty? Woo 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 woo. Kiss them little dog lips. Okay. And then she has... Actually, her coloring doesn't start. I always get asked if she's some kind of a mixed breed of dog. She's, as far as I know, full bred. She's, like I've seen her siblings and everything, and they look like regular old shepherds for the most part. They're all much darker though. And from what I've seen, she sort of resembles a dog called a Shiloh shepherd, which is just like a bigger, darker shepherd. But she's really tiny. I think she might have been the runt. I wish I had pictures of her as a puppy. She's just so cute. She's just a cute little dog. I'm sort of glad I stopped recording when I did, because like within minutes after the recording she started to have little puppy nightmares. You could hear her going woof 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 in her sleep in the background. There we go. Looks like she has a phoenix on her on her front there. So now all we have to do is erase away the outside. When I was a teenager, I got really into tones, like manga toning, and but it was really hard to find resources on it on the internet at the time, back in the AOL days. And I'm trying to remember how, but I somehow got a hold of toning sheets. I believe I sent away for them because I remember them coming like in the mail, or like coming in a package. So I don't think I like made it to a convention and was like, give me your tones, you know. So I had them, but at the time, like especially in the US, they were so rare and they were like so precious to me that I never used them. And for all I know, I could still have them in a folder somewhere. But I had like buildings and just like a regular sheet of tone like this, was just like one solid color. And then I had what else did I have? I had like planets and stars. Oh, I don't know. Sorry, I'm itching myself. So, save for the names, like the text boxes, I think that's basically it. Though I might put, no, not that dark though. Can I turn down the opacity? I can. Yeah, that looks goofy. I kind of like it just being solid. I think I'm also going to do that for their pants. I plan to cut off the bottom, if you're wondering. I wish I had patterns. Are there patterns in Manga Studio? I don't really think. Oh. No, it's just closed fill, huh? I have like gradiate. Oh, do I have tones? No. Okay. Well, I think I'm basically gonna say that this is it. Maybe save for a little bit of toning that I'll do with Photoshop, because I have some more tones in there. But yeah, okay, cool. That'll be it for this one, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!